Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Mensa Augustine. Please, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel. And if you have been watching my videos and if you're not yet subscribed, please kindly subscribe for us to build the mathematics community. In this lesson, we're looking at polar coordinates. And under the polar coordinates, you will learn how to change Cartesian equation to polar equation or rectangular equations to polar equations. So join me as we take a series of examples to improve your understanding. I love this girl, Peace Adenya from the University of Legon, Ghana. You have been commenting on my videos. I salute you for that. And piano lessons, you have also been commenting. Thank you for your comments. I have Mauto, I have Helen, I have Harriet Isel Arabak, I have Ayupak Ali Muhammad. We are all from the University of Legon, Ghana. Thanks for your precious comments and other people that I couldn't mention your names. Now, let's take these examples. Now, if we consider this right angle triangle, we're able to address all these problems, and I hope we're able to go through them. If we take r squared, it will give you x squared plus y squared. If we take square root, you get this. If we take tangent of theta, we get opposite over adjacent. Then if we take cosine of theta, cos adjacent over hypotenuse. So x will give you this. If we say sine, so opposite over hypotenuse, so y will be given by that. So now let's take the questions. How do we change this Cartesian equation into polar coordinates? Into polar equation, we have x squared plus y squared divided by a plus x all squared equal to x squared plus y squared. Now, these are what you have to remember. So don't cheat this. Just take this one down. And whatever you get, you just use this to get these parameters. And then you fix them straightforward. So here, x squared plus y squared will be given by r squared. So we take r squared divided by a plus x is r cosine of theta. Very simple as that. And then we square it. Equal to x squared plus y squared is what? Is r squared. So we take r squared. And we are good to go. So now, how do you solve this? We have to remove the square. So we square root. And we square root here. Here this will cancel this. Here this will cancel. And let's simplify what is inside. You have, okay, let's move with that. R squared divided by a plus r times cosine of theta is equal to r. Let's multiply 2 by a. You have r squared plus ar cosine of theta equal to ar. Here you can divide 2 by r squared r. So this will be r plus a cosine of theta equal to a. You have r equal to a minus a times cosine of theta. You have r equal to a times 1 minus cosine of theta. That is very simple as that. Wow. Now let's move on. So this is the polar equation for this Cartesian equation. We are taking series of examples. Now example 2. What is the polar equation for the rectangular equation? X squared plus y squared minus 4y equal to 0. Now for this one, x squared y plus y squared is r squared. So we put r squared there minus 4. What is our y? R sine of theta equal to 0. So here what do? You can divide 2 by r. So you are going to have r minus 4 sine of theta equal to 0. So you have r equal to 4 sine of theta. Very, very simple as that. Sure. Let's move on to the next question. What is the polar equation for y equal to x? This one is very, very simple and tricky. So here what do? If we divide here by x, we have y divided by x equal to 1. And what is y divided by x? It is tangent of theta. So here we have here to be tangent of theta is equal to 1. And we have theta to be equal to a tangent inverse of 1. And we have theta to be equal to pi on 4. Very, very simple, huh? Now let's move on to the next one. Now, what about this one? We have x squared equal to minus 3y squared plus 1. So this, you can group it, or let's group. You have x squared plus 3y squared equal to 1. x squared is r squared cosine squared theta plus 3r squared sine squared theta equal to 1. Now what can we do? We can factorize r squared out. So we have r squared times cosine squared of theta plus 3 sine squared of theta equal to 1. Now, let's express this in terms of cosine. Now, from the basic trigonometric identity, we know that sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta is equal to positive 1. So here, cosine squared of theta is equal to 1 minus, sine squared of theta is equal to 1 minus cosine squared of theta. So here, we're going to have r squared into brackets, cosine squared of theta plus 3 into brackets. Sine squared of theta is 1 minus cosine squared of theta. So 1 minus cosine squared of theta equal to 1. And this will give us r squared times cosine squared of theta minus 3 times cosine squared of theta plus 3, which is equal to 1. Now this one will give us r squared into brackets 3 minus 2 cosine squared of theta equal to 1. Because this will give us minus 2. We have r squared equal to 1 divided by 3 minus 2 times cosine squared of theta. Wow. And what is cosine squared of theta? We can do that one, huh? Let's do that one and see if we can get something here. We have that if we have cosine of 2 theta, if you have cosine of 2 theta, it is equal to cosine squared of theta minus sine squared of theta. And that's, if we need to substitute this one, we're going to have cosine of 2 theta is equal to cosine squared of theta minus 1 minus cosine squared of theta. We've done the substitution already. This is the substitution. So here, minus minus will give us positive. So we are going to have cosine of 2 theta equal to 2 times cosine squared of theta minus 1. So you bring the minus 1 here to come positive. So you have plus 1 and then cosine of 2 theta equal to 2 times cosine squared of theta. If you divide both sides by 2, and then this will go off. So we have cosine squared is equal to 1 plus cosine of 2 theta. So in place of this, I'm going to put this one there. Now we are going to have r squared is equal to 1 divided by 3 minus 2 into brackets 1 plus 2 times cosine of 1 plus cosine of 2 theta divided by 2. and then these two will cancel these two. So we have r squared equal to 1 divided by 3 minus 1 minus cosine of 2 theta. And we have r squared equal to 1 divided by 2 minus cosine of 2 theta as our final answer. If we want to write it in terms of r, we can write r equal to square root of 1 is 1. So we have 1 divided by square root of 2 minus cosine of 2 theta as the polar equation. So going through this, I don't think it's a big problem. If you look at this one, what we have here, x squared is r squared cosine squared, y squared is r squared sine squared, and we have our 1 here. So here what we do is that we are substituting sine squared, and that is equal to 1 minus cosine squared. So if we put it here, you get 3 times this, that is minus 3 cosine squared. 3 times 1, that will give us positive. Now, what happens here is that if we take minus 3 from positive 1, we get minus 2 cosine squared theta, and we have 3. Then we divide. We have cosine squared here, so we are going to replace the cosine squared, and this is the expression for the cosine squared in terms of cosine 2 theta. That is why I've used that. So when you put that one here, these two will cancel these two, and we will be left with the 1 plus cosine 2 theta. Sorry, 1 minus 1 minus cosine 2 theta. That is what we've done here. This will cancel this, and the negative will multiply this, we have negative, negative will multiply this, we have negative. So that is that. Let's take the next example. We have where is it? Okay, let's move with it. And the second example, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what about this one? We have y squared equal to x into bracket a minus s. How do we do this one? Here we take y squared equal to ax minus x squared. Y squared is r squared cosine squared of theta. We have ax is r cosine of theta minus r squared cosine squared of theta. So here what we do, we can divide through by r. We have r. So we have r cosine squared of theta equal to a cosine of theta minus r cosine squared of theta. Wow. Oh no. Wow. This is sine squared. This is sine squared of theta. We have sine squared of theta. So let me send this one here. I have r sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta times r equal to a times cosine of theta. Now you can factorize r out. We have sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta equal to a times cosine of theta. Sine squared theta plus cosine theta is 1 times r will give me r equal to a times cosine of theta. That is very simple, huh? Let's take the next one. The next one is this one. If I have 4x squared y equal to 1, how do I do this one? This one is very simple. So we take 4, x squared is r squared cosine of theta squared, and y is r times sine of theta equal to 1. Very, very simple as that. So here, what do we do? Okay, now let's do this one. You see that we have r squared cosine squared, and we have r sine theta, and we have 4 here. So what should we do? Let's see this one, if it will be possible for us. If we multiply r squared by r, we are going to get r cube. We are going to get r cube. Okay, let's do that one and see. If we get r cube, then we can divide this one by that and see what we are going to get. This is the answer that I have here. So let's see. R squared times r will give us r cube. Then this 4 can be written as 2 times 2. And this cosine squared can be written as cosine of theta times cosine of theta times, we have sine of theta equal to 1. So here I'll take 2r cube times cosine of theta times 2 times cosine of theta times sine of theta equal to 1. And we know that if you have sine 2 theta is the same as sine theta plus sine theta cosine of theta plus sine theta cosine of theta, that is 2 sine theta cosine of theta. So in place of this, we are going to put there sine 2 theta. So we have 2r cube cosine of theta times 2 sine 2 theta equal to 1. Sine 2 theta equal to 1. This is multiplication. So here we can write r cubed equal to 1 divided by 2 times cosine of theta and then times sine of 2 theta as our polar equation. I think that is very, very simple, and that makes sense. We can simplify this one further, because 1 divided by cosine of theta will give us secant theta, and 1 divided by this will give us cosecant 2 theta. And write it in the form, or we can leave it here. Now let's move on. Yeah, cosecant 2 theta, not cosecant theta. Now let's check this one out. How do we do this one? If you have y squared equal to 8 times x plus 2. Here you have y squared equal to 8x plus 16. How do we go about this one? We are going to have r squared. This will be difficult. But let's see. Let's balance this. Let's add x squared here, because we don't have any x squared term, and add x squared here. So now this one will give us r squared. And this one, let us factorize it and see. This will give us x plus 4 squared. Just take that. X squared plus 8x plus 16x is a perfect square. As x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16, x into bracket x plus 4 plus 4 into bracket x plus 4. So we have x plus 4 all squared. That's what we have there. think we can do it like that and it will fit. You can do it like that and it will fit. So if that one happens, then I think we can do this one very simple. Now this will become r equal to x plus 4. Because we take square root of this and we take square root of that. We have r equal to, x is equal to r cosine of theta plus 4. R cosine of theta plus 4, which is r equal to 4 plus r cosine of theta. Wow! Is it like that? Yes. I think it is like that. That's what I have here. But we can do it as r minus r cosine of theta is equal to 4. Take r out, you have 1 minus cosine of theta equal to 4. You have r equal to 4 divided by 1 minus cosine of theta. Perfect. Okay, let's end it here. We will continue with the rest of the questions. Thank you for watching. Please kindly subscribe, like, share, and leave your comments. Bye bye.